sexually transmitted diseases. So today we learn about HIV infection, AIDS. So in previous classes we have learned about different types of STDs like syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydiasis. In today's class we will first begin with acquired immune deficiency syndrome, also we call it AIDS, AIDS. So I'm telling you that you have to remember the name of the causative agent, the symptoms of the disease, their treatment and prevention. So today here also we look at the type of pathogen that causes AIDS, the symptoms of the disease we will go through it, and the transmission and the treatment of the disease. So first of all, AIDS is mainly caused by a virus called retrovirus. Clear? So HIV/AIDS, or we can say AIDS, is mainly caused by a retrovirus. And this retrovirus has got the genetic material as RNA. The genetic material of retrovirus is RNA. Clear? So therefore, the retroviruses having RNA genetic materials usually called human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. Alright, that type of retrovirus, it causes AIDS. Right, so HIV virus, a class of retrovirus, it causes HIV/AIDS. Now, the detail of HIV/AIDS, the mode of transmission, alright, we will learn in details when we go with the chapter Human Health and Diseases. Clear? But today we will just see the symptoms, transmission, and the treatment and prevention. So first of all, we have to learn that HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, a class of retrovirus will cause the AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Now, this HIV virus will directly infect or will directly attack our body immunity. The name suggests human immunodeficiency virus. It will make our immune system very weak. Yeah? So it will directly go and attack the immune system of our body. And which particular cell in our body provides immunity? It's mainly the lymphocytes. The type of WBC, if you remember, try to recall, there are two types of lymphocytes, B lymphocytes and the T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes will help in the production of antibody that provides body immunity, and T lymphocytes or the helper cells, they will assist the B lymphocytes for the formation of antibody. So this HIV virus, it will directly go and attack the T lymphocytes or the helper cells, so that it will be no longer available to help the B lymphocytes for the formation of antibody, so that our immune system becomes very weak. So HIV virus will directly go and attack the T lymphocytes or the helper cells, so that it will be no longer available to assist to help the B lymphocytes for the production of antibody. So the immune system of an individual will be breaks down and become very weak. Here, now next, symptoms of the disease. AIDS related complex, ARC, remember, ARC means AIDS related complex, develops in about 25% of HIV infected people. Now what are the symptoms of this ARC or the AIDS related complex? You can see over here, there is loss of appetite, loss of weight, persistent dry cough, fever, pneumonia, shingles, lymphoma, tuberculosis, or severe diarrhea. The virus remains dormant for about 6 years after infection. So these are the general infection of HIV/AIDS. Here, transmission is mainly a blood-borne disease. Remember, AIDS is a blood-borne disease. All right. Now, it mainly transmits through the unprotected sexual intercourse between heterosexual, remember, heterosexual or homosexual, or using the same needle syringe for intravenous injection. So when the same injection is being set between the two individuals, then at that time also this HIV virus can transmit from an infected individual to a healthy individual. It can be also transmitted through the blood transfusion. So when the infected blood is transfused, then at that time also HIV virus can be transmitted, or it can be transferred from mother to the baby through the placenta or through the breast milk. So these are the mode of transmission of HIV virus or retrovirus that causes AIDS. Now, what is the possible treatment and the prevention? So, being a viral infection, successful treatment of AIDS is not available at the present. Now, what are the different types of drugs that can be given for the treatment of AIDS? So, can you remember the name of the drugs that is mainly used to treat the HIV infections? So, azithromycin, AZT, can you remember? Zatidamine, ribavirin, glycyrrhizins are the drugs which are mainly given for the treatment of HIV/AIDS. But remember, these particular drugs does not provide a long-term cure for the HIV infections. It will not totally eradicate the HIV virus. Clear? But it will simply increase the immune power of an infected individual. It will last few years to those individuals who are suffering from HIV infections. So kindly go to the name of the virus that causes HIV/AIDS. And remember, this HIV virus will directly go and attack the T lymphocytes or the helper cells. Remember the symptoms of AIDS transmission and their treatment and prevention. Rest in details we will learn when we go to the chapter Human Health and Diseases, how this retrovirus or HIV virus will multiply in our body. That means the life cycle of those retroviruses we will study in details in Human Health and Diseases. Yeah? Now, next one. Genital warts. The next sexually transmitted disease. Genital. In last class, we have learned about genital herpes. Now, today we will see about genital warts. So, remember the name of the causative agent is also a viral infection. You can see over here. It is caused by human papilloma virus (HPV). Remember the name of the causative agent that causes genital warts. So, genital warts is mainly caused by HPV, human papilloma virus. Clear? Now, you can just look over here. Genital warts are the soft growths on the moist skin of genitalia, genital region, or around the anal region or the anus. These are sexually transmitted infection. That means it will be transmitted through the help of sexual intercourse. They cause pain, discomfort, itching, and especially dangerous in case of female or human, because some types of HPV can also cause cancer of cervix and the vulva. So that means in rare cases, if the condition becomes severe, then those HPV, the certain species of HPV, can also cause cancer of cervix region and the vulva region. So can you remember the genital wart is mainly caused by the human papilloma virus. Now symptoms. Most of the individuals who are infected by HPV, they are all symptomatic. They will show the symptoms of the disease. And once the viral life cycles will be over, it will be cleared. But in certain cases, the symptoms will appear. There might be infection, genital warts, even as clusters with skin color, very small outgrowths on penis, scrotum, groin area, on the thigh, inside and around the anus. Now, in case of female, these warts appear inside or outside the vagina, or anus, or in the cervix. Now, it causes itching, bleeding, burning, and vaginal discharge. Warts may also appear on hand, lips, mouth, tongue, or the throat area. So can you remember the symptoms of genital warts in case of male and in case of female? But most probably you can see over here that the general infection sometimes they produces no symptom and they are all symptomatic, and the infection clears off its own after the viral cycle is completed. But in rare cases, the symptoms appear in case of male and in case of female. Right? Transmissions through the sexual partner through unprotected sex. If one individual is infected by this HPV, so having unprotected sexual intercourse can transmit the virus from affected individuals to the healthy individuals. Treatment. Now, virus cannot be eliminated from the blood. So, antiviral drugs can be used. Remember, antiviral drugs. That means those drugs which will work against the virus can be used to control the repeated outbreaks. Now, topical preparations can help in healing the warts. Use of cream, gel, and solution provides immediate comfort, and warts may disappear but not the virus. So we have to very we have to take very much important precautions, right? So that the cycle of this virus cannot be repeated again and again. So we have to control these outbreaks. So we have to simply use the antiviral drugs so that the cycle of this viral particles cannot be repeated again and again. So remember the name of the pathogen, that is genital warts, human papillomavirus. Clear? Remember the symptoms, transmissions, and the mode of transmission and the type of treatment. Okay. Next one. Hepatitis B. So it's mainly a viral infection. Remember, it's a viral disease or viral infections. The viral disease that infects the liver and can cause both acute and chronic liver hepatitis. So hepatitis B is a viral disease that will mainly infect the liver. Alright? So let's see the symptoms. So incubation period of the virus is around 1 to 6 months. Infected persons shows what type of symptoms? Let's say headache, fever, jaundice like yellowing of skin and eyes, dark urine, extreme fatigue, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain. Right? These are the symptoms of hepatitis B. Now in acute hepatitis, the infection may lead to liver cirrhosis. That means the liver cell starts dying or liver cancer. So if the case becomes chronic, that will lead to liver cancer. So these are the general symptoms of hepatitis B. Now transmission is transmitted through the blood, various body fluids such as saliva, menstrual fluids, vaginal fluids, and seminal fluids. The virus spreads through the reuse of injection needles, syringes, through the blood transfusions, and sexual contact. I have to clear for you, very easy. The virus can be transmitted through the use of the needles. Alright? The same needles which can be used again and again if they are set between the two individuals. Through the blood transfusions, if the blood is infected, and if that blood is used for blood transfusions, then the virus will be transmitted. And even to the sexual contact, to the sexual intercourse also, the virus can be transmitted. In children, hepatitis B virus spreads from mother to the child at the birth. So even from mother to the child also, this virus can be transmitted. So it is very clear. Prevention, treatment. Prevention. Infection can be prevented by hepatitis B vaccine. So vaccine is available for hepatitis B. So vaccination can be done in order to prevent the infection of hepatitis B. Now, the vaccine can be given to the infant within 24 hours after birth, followed by 3 dose schedule of hepatitis B vaccine. The best known treatment of disease is use of genetically engineered interferon injection. Kindly remember, the best way or the best method for the treatment of hepatitis B is the use of genetically engineered interferon injection. Now we learn in detail about genetically engineer technique when we learn about biotechnology. Clear? Interferons are those cells, alright? Are those infected cells. If the cell becomes infected, then they will release a chemical called interferon so that the other neighboring normal cells will not be infected by the virus. Interferon functions, right? So let's say there are 10 cells. If there are a group of cells, and if one of these cells becomes infected by a virus, let's say if this cell becomes infected by a virus, then this infected cell releases a chemical called interferon so that the other neighboring normal cells will not be infected by the virus. So the technique of genetically engineered we'll learn in detail in biotechnology, and at the same time we'll learn about the function of interferon over there in biotechnology. Okay, but remember, genetically engineered interferon injection, one treatment of hepatitis B. Clear? Okay. Now next one, trichomoniasis, the last sexually transmitted disease, the syllabus. So we'll go through it. Okay. So trichomoniasis is caused by a protozoan, Trichomonas vaginalis. Remember, it's caused by a protozoan, Trichomonas vaginalis. Symptoms: in male it causes epididymitis, the problems of epididymis, prostatitis, problems with prostate glands, and urethritis. There will be inflammation of epididymis, prostate glands, and urethra, resulting in pain and burning sensation. In female, it causes vaginitis, problem with the vagina, with foul smelling, yellow vaginal discharge, and the burning sensations. Remember, the symptoms in male and the symptoms in female. Now, transmission through the sexual contact. So, if one individual is infected, and if there will be an unprotected sexual intercourse, then these infections can transmit from the infected individual to the healthy individuals. Treatment, standard treatment is by the use of a tab called metronidazole. This can be used for the treatment of trichomoniasis. Okay, so here we have finished the different types of sexually transmitted diseases. What you remember? You have to remember the name of the STD, the name of the diseases, the type of causative agent, whether it is viral, alright, whether it is caused by protozoa or it is caused by bacteria. So you have to remember the name of the causative agent. Then you have to remember the symptoms of the disease, followed by the mode of transmissions, how the diseases are transmitted from one individual to another individuals. Then you have to remember the prevention or the preventive method. Then lastly, the treatment of the disease. So kindly go through the textbook and go through the different types of STD. Yes, and in the next class we will begin with the new chapter.